Afternoon, Dowse.
Afternoon. It's morning, David.
Is it?
It's afternoon.
It's afternoon.
It is afternoon. I think about next week.
Yeah, we'll come to that.
Yeah.
Most people won't be aware that we did actually record a catch-up last week, but because of technical difficulties, we were unable to publish it.
It was the best one ever, I know, till Dan mucked it up. It was the best
superb
one we've ever done. Daniel's mucked it up, so can't help that. That's why I thought it was morning, but it's afternoon, so time does fly. But start next week, we're going to do 4 o'clock, is that right, in the lounge?
We're going to give 4 o'clock a go next week.
Next week, before the Gillingham game.
Yeah.
Come down, have a beer, can't they? People have a beer?
I believe so. I think Daniel's plan is to allow people to register interest in being present.
Brilliant.
During the week, next week. Look out for something on Twitter and the website fairly early in the week.
Excellent.
You can register interest, and a small crowd that conforms with the regulations.
Of course.
Will be able to come and watch me do a bit with you, and then
ask questions or whatever. Brilliant. That's what it's all about. I look forward to seeing everybody. It's a good idea. Let's crack it on. Yeah.
There were a few things that we covered last week that I do want to revisit very briefly.
Yeah.
Because I think people will be interested in your thoughts. So
yeah.
I'm going to call this bit Quick Fire Dowse. And we'll see if you're capable of being quick fire.
I can talk quick. I'll talk quick. Okay. Go on, dear. Fire away.
John Katz.
Very good. Enthusiasm, drive. First bloke I've ever seen wants to get in the Football League, who I've seen for 2.5 years. But a structure to get in the Football League, a plan to get in the Football League. He said to go. He said he's not going to medal in the team. He won't, because I wouldn't be here if he does. Something like that. Like a bloke, I've met him 2 or 3 times. Ambition. We've had ambition for the last 20 years, but nobody's actually had the ambition to say, okay, this is how we're going to get in the league. Because this year has been a big struggle, because the Thursday before we start the season, I've got 6 players. I've had to get loan just to make a team up. We can't live on loans. We can't survive on loans. We've had to for the first 6 months till January, and we'll have to try to build again, because all the best players are taken up. Like we were again. So I'll probably go on, but I think it's good. Yeah, for the club.
Part-time, full-time. Yeah, full-time from next season, not from January.
Yeah,
is what you said last week. We also wondered, or I wondered, about whether that you would accept any part-time players.
Never say never. Well, we like to do it properly. What's the point of this? Because we could make a big splash, and John could as well, and make a big splash. We're going full-time next year. Well, it's a couple of us if we don't do it right. Or let's do 3 mornings. That's not right. Let's do it right. So if that's what he wants, and that's what I believe he does, and that's what the club wants, well, I believe so it makes us compete better and all that, then we've got to do it properly. And but if it is a part-time player whose fitness hasn't dropped, and I've got to play in different games at Wales, people talk about like, oh, Casey can't play. How do people know that? Of course he can.
There seems to be received wisdom out there that Casey has said that if we go full-time, he will go full-time.
That's the way I look at it as well. If we want him.
Of course.
So it's one of them. So let's get it on. Let's move forward. We've got to move forward. There's too much standstill, too much cobblers. I felt like that for the last few years in football. To be honest, let's either have an ambition to get in the league or not. Stay here for the next 10 years. Get relegated, go up. I kept on saying it'd be a miracle we'll stay up this year, because what we've had and what we've got and what we had at the start of the season. Everybody tries to back your best we can, including the chairman here. But let's not pretend that we're gonna go in. We're gonna have a structure, get in the Football League, or people believe out there in the Football League. And this kid's come over from America, and he said all the right things, and he wants to be from a whole place and get it right up there the best he possibly can. The biggest thing he's gonna do, the biggest thing for me, because I'm black and white with it. If I didn't like a bloke, I would say so. And if he, not medal me team, because I wouldn't have a. To be honest, just like a word medal on what he wants to do. But again, fair with a lad. The biggest thing for me in my own head, he says he's going to be here 24/7. So that makes 2 with Dave Curtis. Will be here 24/7 for you. Okay, so it's one of them where if that's the case, he'll know exactly what people are doing, know exactly where people are going, me included. You know exactly what the whole structure is to get up there. He says he's a workaholic. Brilliant. I think I am as well. So what a great thing to have together to take the club forward. Because I do think that if you haven't got anybody here 24/7 and all, how can I make a decision? So make a decision by being here 24/7. I think that's massive for the club to grow. I really do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mentioned last week a newspaper article in an American paper I found which profiled him in his current role as the CEO of the equivalent of a non-league baseball team, and that was very much the impression that this article got across, that he's very, very involved and hands-on.
Brilliant. We need that, man. We need a chairman and directors, and I love Rosemary, as you know, but not just that, in a director as a great, and you can't forget what people have done, like what Peter Jordan's done for the club. Let's get on the table how great job he's done. Even like Linda and Jeff tail off in a long time, what they've done, and all that, you know, what the directors done, what our chairman's done to bring it all to the table and stuff like that. We can't forget that, we can't, and you know, doing great. But you look on the 20 years and all that, you know, and stuff like that, what's going on. Except when Jeff had it, when he had money then, in the days when Woking were one of the biggest clubs in non-league football, I think there's been a standstill of Woking for 20 years. I think we have a cup one every now and again. We had one against Watford. But I do think, you know, where I was at the start of the season, I thought, how the hell am I going to get out of this? And we seem to we're doing the best, not me, the lads are doing the best they possibly can to get out where we were at the start of the season with loans and with part-timeness. But the problem is, if we're going to be honest about it and get the truth about it, we haven't had anybody in life around here since I've been here to say we are going to get in the Football League. That's us. That's what we're going to do. Notts County doesn't matter. Stockport, all a shot. Get rid of them. We are going to do it. And that's a determination we should have. Now, if he did do it, he's told me he's going to do that. If he comes in and says, right, Dowse, off we go. Brilliant. Let's kick it on. I want to be full time. I want to manage the best players I possibly can. I want the best players come for the club. I want to be fan of the club with him and make a whole area who are crying out for a football club here. So I think all the ideas suit mine as well. So it was great having a chat with him, and every single idea community based, brilliant. Kids and all that, families, brilliant. Who wants to look after the local community, fantastic, just like we all do. So all the things he said was great, but the biggest thing was 24/7 down here. We're going to build a club and we're going to get the Football League. What more can I ask for? Because people will call tittle tattle. We'll get them in the league. This season? How the hell are we going to get in the league this season? You know what I mean? Just twist it. Oh yeah, because when we lost the other night, I had to hump, to be honest, because I thought we competed unbelievable for the squad we had against a very good Bournemouth. Unbelievable. You know what players they've got, what players we've sort of got. I thought we were unbelievable. Got done by one mistake. No, oh dear mate. Oh god, we've got this one. It's a couple of get with full time. Get with the best players we can, up the budget, get the best players to compete with everybody else. How we're going to do that, I don't know. He's going to work on that, he is, and he's going to try to give me the tools and me stuff to have a go. Let's get it on. I've got next year. If I don't do it, then my contract runs out in a couple of months anyway, but that doesn't really matter. That's not me being the most important thing in the club. But the bottom line is, let's get a couple of years of full-time football to see what we can do, and if I don't do it, suckers, just get rid of us.
Fair enough. Quickfire's going well. Lottery funding.
It's all right. No, it looks good. I thought, is that about the money what the government's giving?
Yeah,
Very good.
Yeah.
It looks good to me.
Yeah.
For what we are, I think it looks very good to me, to be honest. You know,
it seems to me we've probably done pretty well out of it.
I think so. It looks to me, I haven't went ins and out, which I do, but it looks to me, I've just been reading the paper here, I've got £250,000. Well, you know, that's a massive chunk of a wages going there, and if you've got the streaming going into it and all that, so yeah, and the FA Cup money as well, I think we're doing quite well.
I read that they decided on an arbitrary cut-off point of average crowd of 2,500, and the clubs with more than that are the ones who get more money. Well, we weren't all that far off that.
No, we're not. Our fans are great and they come along, so we're not. The only thing you tend to think that the bigger ones, and they say it's not our fault that people are spending 3-year contracts on £2,000 a week and all that. You know, I don't think people should get the money that way.
No.
I think the supporters, and that's fair. If it's fair, no problem with us, because we get 2.5, and that's what it is. And if that's how it's been done on what you would come for with gate, that's fair enough. We just don't want the bigger clubs getting more than the smaller clubs, because that's unfair, you know.
I've seen a club this week complaining that the money they're going to get from the government doesn't cover their wage bill.
Well, they shouldn't spend so much money, do they? You know what I mean?
I was staggered, quite honestly. I mean, and they've given out all the numbers as well.
Oh no, but we don't spend so much money. You know, we get a budget down here, and the chairman, the directors look after it well, and they give us what they can. And I might sit here, well, I need more to compete, and that's why we've got the loan signings in. And all the rest of it, how long that lasts for, I don't know. But the bottom line is, at least we're not going into debt and all that, you know, and you've got to give credit there. But why do these people give free? We play against some lads who have been given 3-year contracts, and all that, you know, on decent money, double, quadruple some of that my lads get. But it's their fault for doing that. Why pay that money for living a dream? And that's why, again, this kid's coming along from America saying he wants to do the dream a different way. Fantastic, because if you just get a sugar daddy who goes bum bum bum, clubs usually go bust anywhere. So I think you got the ones, you know, if it was covered in the leagues, I think, and including the leagues down and all that, you know, the ones who have been sloppy and just give and say there you are, say non-fees, all that, you know, and so they're the ones who are getting caught out at a minute. They're the ones who have been stuck more than anybody. The ones who just went whack on the money and all that, you know, they're getting found out how badly their clubs are run, in my opinion.
Yeah. Bike ride. I know it's
still got a store bum, to be fair. I was the worst out of lots. I struggled. It's just I'm not scared. I admit it now. It's the COVID thing. It just affects me breathing a bit still, you know, and stuff like that. I've got to try to slow me breathing down. I'm working on that at a minute, and you know, it's just it'll go on for another couple of months. I got, you know, it'll go up my system eventually and all that, you know. But I found that hard, like me breathing in my legs. And Casey was very good, and you know, Scotty Steele and Lloyd were all great. In fact, great crack, great laugh. No, absolutely great laugh. I think in the car when me, Lloydie, and Scotty got together, I think Casey looked around for blinking heck. But he's got to remember I was a player as well with them lots, you know what I mean, and knowing them a long time. But great lads, Steve McHugh, all top people. The Gary Bally Pup, who were excellent because he had been live streaming the games and giving the club the money for it, which is fantastic. Went back there for a pint, fantastic, and you know, really good cause and all that. And I appreciate everybody who sponsored it, but it's great crack.
Good. We talked about playing in front of no crowds and whether it was leading to diminishing the advantage of being at home. In other words, it was creating more of a level playing field, which leads us into last Saturday. Did that help at all, do you think, or will we?
I wish the crowd were there. I thought, like, listen, I've got a lot of time for their manager. I like him, and the club itself got no again all the shot, but of course working all the shot when the people were down here, or giving it all that. But the manager went to their fans, and I would have loved to have done that because he was right. When the people were down here 1-0, he goes and celebrates in front of his own fans, not ours, and all that, you know. And he done it the right way. He did, and all that, you know. And I think he does do things the right way. But to win was fantastic because he want to beat your local rivals just like he want to beat me in the FA Cup. But I just wish the fans were there, you know. During the game you don't really notice, you're doing, but afterwards I would look to celebrate something like that with our supporters like you always do. So I felt for our supporters more than anything after the game I did, even though it was a great feeling winning, getting next round the cup. Fantastic, but it makes you think it could have been 4,000 people there or whatever, and it would have been fantastic. It would have been, would that have had a different influence on the game with 3,500 Aldershot fans that year? It could have well have done.
Yeah, well done. I know it's that an awful lot of our supporters hate drummers, but if there's one ground in the country where that really works, it's at Aldershot.
They do drums there.
They have a drummer up on the terraces on that east bank, you know, the big bank that's covered over, and the noise that comes out of there can be
I bet it'd be very intimidating. We should do it here. You should do it for here when we get Dave on the drum. So why don't you do it here? So no, fantastic. Two good clubs, good cup tie. Didn't think it was the best of games, but getting through it, and I'm just pleased to be in the next round.
And then Tuesday came along, first defeat of the season. Was that one game too many every? I
thought we were very good. I think we'll be a top 3 or 4 side where we'll not be, but we'll compete in every game. I think we've competed in every game we've played at the minute. I thought a draw would have been a fair result. That's what I think. If you look at their manager, I'll be saying the same. The kids hit the ball, got some good positions. They haven't conceded a goal at home this season yet. I thought we'd done as much as anybody to do that. We didn't have much to do. Their keeper never really had many saves to make. But I thought it was a good competitive game where I was delighted with the lads' effort. We just need to finish it. The people say, "Oh, you need a centre forward." You can't say that because we never give a centre forward many chances. We just need a cutting edge for somebody, a winger, a midfielder, or a forward, obviously, or whatever. Didn't make it a cutting edge. We're a very attacking team. We never sit back. We go full throttle. Some people didn't do great on the night. Is it tiredness? Is it whatever? I don't know. We just got to deal with it. But again, you know, I just thought how they're set up, which we can do next season. All the good things about next season, we able to set up knowing exactly what they've got to do. And we love to do things like that. Myself, Ian, Martin, love to put people. So when you haven't had that chance to do that on a Monday, I do think that'll be our massive advantage next season. So we can actually tell exactly where he goes there, we go there, and that's where like they had very experienced team in it who knew exactly what to do, knew how to play the game, knew how to play a referee. I thought the referee was pretty awful, by the way. I thought the referee was absolutely awful. That's my opinion. But you know, it just goes to show that we are competing in every game. We've had a great start of the season, in my opinion. We're battling every way. The lads, not me, the lads are doing it. So we'll keep on battling. You know, I've got, you know.
And you did make a few changes. Was that a rotation?
I'd say because I've got 4 very good midfielders. 4 very good midfielders who can fit in 3 slots. What the plan was, because if you get it wrong, you got like we made a good substitution the other day, getting Jarvis off and Max on, and Max scores. It nearly worked the other night as well. And it kicks in mind. And what we thought, we got Blocky in there, because we knew how their midfield play. If we got in their faces and pushed them back and back, then we get Cooper on for half an hour to get the ball and pass it and make we're moving all that, you know. Be honest, I don't know if I got that right, to be honest, because I thought that we never really had a passer in there to do that, you know. So it ended up being half a mistake by me, I think, to be honest. It's one of them where you horse about courses. Should I kept Max in because how well he done when he come on? Should Loz got his little injury and all that, you know? It's a shame. Sorry, Loz got his injury. What's he called? Malachi got his injury. It's a shame, really, you know, because he's got it. meniscus problem in his knee he had and all that, and stuff like that. It was just a jump and he landed on it. He's injured because somebody downstairs before and all that said, oh well, it just shows that you shouldn't play people when they're injured. He wasn't injured at all before kickoff. He wasn't injured at all, so I'm not playing anybody who's injured. I think this big thing about me is, you've got this, we've got to leave somebody out tomorrow because he's got a bit of a hamstring. I'm not daft, I do and play him. If it's a little kick, get on with it. But with Malachi, he's been fit all the way, and he went up for a ball, landed on his knee, fell over, we took him off straight away as precaution, and he's going to be out for 4 or 5 weeks, not like so we're getting back on it. So it's a shame because he gives us an outlet with pace and Jobber with a bit of trickery. But that's why Tops is there, and that's why Johnny Goddard's there, and all of us. I had a good chat with Tops last night. It was funny because again, people's reception. People say, oh yeah, Tops must have done. He's done nothing wrong. Tops. He's had a good pre-season. It's just at the minute we've been winning games and you can't get in. Just like last season with Puka. Remember when we had that thing with Puka? He must have said something to me in the change room. Puka never said one thing to me ever. You know what I mean? Complaining he's not in the team. He never spoke up. He was a pleasure to work with. Pooks. I just felt as though the other lads should play in front of him, as you do as a manager. And it's the same at the minute with Tops. The Tops chance will come, and stuff it will. And we're having a chat last night. He says, "Oh, Gaffer, give a word." I said, "Yeah, no problem." So we're doing a debrief in the Legends Lounge, and me and Tops went in the kitchen because nowhere else to go. So I put a light on the kitchen. I'm thinking, okay, Tops, yeah, so yeah, we're having a good chat. Like, he's a proper lad, Tops. I love Tops. Proper, yeah, I feel, your chance will come. It will come, and you're massive part of the club and all the rest of it. Anyway, fligging alarms went off. Malcolm had put the alarm on, but we're there, and was to walk out the room, the alarms all went off. I can't get it. So, but Tops works in that department, so he knew what he had a cool head. I was like, what I do here? Tops, what I do? So Malcolm's gone there, but Tops is like a calm. He said, just do that, press the button again. So I got it off. So he did set alarm bells racing. Tops, he did, but. You want players to come and see when they're not happy in the team. At the minute, we've had a very good start of the season. We're in the next round of the cup. We have really lost 2 games, in games we should. We've had played some tough games as well. We're ahead with 5, 6. We had 6 last time. Learn players in it because I never had a say beforehand, so I've had to use the market a different way. I like a learn signing because the club like us do, but you got to have your permanent players. But that's what we missed out on the start of the season. But if we're winning games and the lads are doing well, you tend not to change too many things.
Right. Yeah. Kyron Lofthouse, is he a sort of replacement for Malachi, or was he coming anywhere?
So coming anywhere made it easier replacement, but he's a right back, right midfield, right winger. He took the time to settle in. I see you get these lads who will take a little while to settle in. I always give him 1 game. I can't give him 2 or 3, but I give him 1 game because he's used to playing under 23 football or coming on the first team for 10 minutes. When it's hustle bustle, it's like that. It's different. And all that, so he'll be better, he'll get better, and all that, and he's been a good lad, got pace, quick, right back, he can play right mid, or he play out wide right, and all that, he's got to be the quickest player on the team. We just got to get the best out of him. The other night, his first game was probably a tough call to throw him straight in, to be honest, but he's a good lad, yeah, we like him.
Right.
Yeah.
And Mark Smith.
I had him at Hampton. He actually won with promotion at Hampton. I had a good side in, I had Jamal Lure, Nick Kabamba, Ben and Kevin, Casey, we were blinking the Taylor brothers and all that, we were blinking good side of Hampton. And then who's the goalkeeper who actually won with a playoff fight in the last game of the season by the CSC makes and all that, Again, we've got a young kid in all white. It's just see how it'll be. Rossi's number 1 at the minute, and nobody's getting in and all that. We had a good chat with Rossi last night about the standards getting higher around the club. Now, it's alright having White on the bench, but he's not getting any games. So if I bring Smudge in, he can sit on the bench, to push Rossi and all that, and stuff like that. Until Rossi makes 4 or 5 mistakes, and I've got to change it, like anybody else. But if he comes in and has it, then I can get White out on loan, and White maybe's come back, when I get Smudge out on loan, it just keeps them playing, so when they're ready to come in. So that's what it's like, instead of having a young kid sitting there and being on the bench all season, you may think, well, if he had 5 or 6 men's football, can I bring him back in? So I'm just doing a little jigsaw thing that and push the lad through. But at the minute, Rossi's the number 1.
Okay. FA Cup draw, pleased with it? Disappointed?
I think I can't believe we're not on telly, like. Some of the games on there. Some of the games on there.
A lot of games on telly.
Oh, and some of them, I'm thinking Barnby or whoever they got, you're thinking, how the hell are they? But I thought we should have been. You're sitting there watching it, and can you have a deflation a little bit? Maybe it's the same deflation we had when we had Torquay in the first round. But then again, a little bit less when we had Swindon. And all of a sudden you get the Watford. In my opinion, if you're going to have a shock, do it properly. If you're going to change how I always say to players, you can change your lives in the FA Cup you have, like it changed ours a couple of years ago. Do it properly. If we win on Saturday, if we do, I'm not going to go against a good side and all that up there and just got promotion and find the feet. But if you didn't win Saturday, they might be going into our game with 5 or 6 defeats. And I'll tell you one thing: if I was in his shoes, I wouldn't fancy playing against us. That's what's it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we'll win the game because they're massively favourites and could win it by 4 or 5. That's football. I think everybody's got to be realistic about it. We'll not think like it on a day, and the players weren't, and I weren't. But if I was in different shoes, and Evans in it, Steve Evans or whatever, if I was in his shoes and he's lost 4 or 5 in the team, you wouldn't really want to play against us. But obviously he's been a very experienced manager, knows what he's doing, knows what he gets out of players. But we fancy it, we fancy having a go. That's what we'll do.
Yeah, all the pressure will be on them, clearly.
Aye.
All of it.
Just like it was on Swindon. Nobody expected guys to Swindon. Even Torquay to a certain extent. Torquay were having that great run, went top of the league. We went second, top of good down there. Again, Max, there's a shock scoring in a big game like that. When we get half battered by Swindon but score a great goal, and you're thinking it's 2 leagues again difference and all that, but the most important thing is winning the game tomorrow or getting back on track tomorrow. We're not off track, we've just got to get some more points on the board, and then with people fighting for places, but the lads have done very, very well.
You mentioned Steve Evans. Have you ever managed with him in the opposite dugout?
No, I believe it's going to be interesting.
It will be an interesting experience for you.
Is it? Alright, we'll have a go, can't we? You know what I mean? So,
admittedly, I haven't seen him in action for a few years, but of course he managed in this league.
Boston.
Yes, but Crawley as well, I think.
Crawley, that's right, he did. He got promoted with Crawley, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's right, aye. But you don't know about me, I didn't know much about him. So we're going to these games. I like knowing that. Like, listen, you get Steve Evans, obviously he's been a very experienced manager and a good manager, obviously. He managed Leeds and all that and all, didn't he? So you can't knock the record. But I didn't look up managers, you see him and you see him. Like, it's like we talk about the team we're playing against tomorrow or whatever, and you have a bit of respect for him and all that, but you're thinking it's only fish and chip paper at the end of the day, and stuff like that. It's only what's on there. If a player like that every week, for example, it'll be higher, just like we would be. So I think you just got to concentrate on your own game a lot more and all that, rather than the opposition's, because they've brought in some good players in this league. Have I seen an outstanding one? No. Have I seen an outstanding manager? No, including myself. I've seen some good players and good managers, but not outstanding because we're in the 5th tier. You know what I mean? So you might think you're outstanding players in the Premiership, and sometimes you watch that and think it's not that great. It goes lower and lower. So we have a belief here, to be honest, we're playing against good players, but not outstanding players, and good managers, but not outstanding ones. Because I've been in it a long time, 15 years, and I've never seen an outstanding player and an outstanding manager. Good, but not outstanding. The outstanding ones are a lot higher, and we've got to remember that.
Yeah. I'm going to come back to that for the last point in a moment. But briefly, Kings Lynn tomorrow, they've lost 4 in a row. They've played, I'm going to make it worse.
Go on, Dave.
They've played 3 of the opponents that we've played, and they have a worse result than ours in each of those games.
So 0-0 it is.
Well, but does all this make them more dangerous?
I haven't even looked at it, to be honest. I haven't even talked with it. Do we know how we play? No, not really. I just know we've got a good manager who's got promotion, and he's been a manager and a player and all that, but they've lost the last few games. I'll gather that, the score goals and concede them and all that, we're not scoring them but not conceding them. So that's interesting how the tactic we've got to use. But like anything else, we're a tough place to go. We'll have a go. That's all we'll do. We'll keep having a go. Does it put any pressure on? I don't feel any pressure. I never really get nervous or blinking thinking about a game I'm doing or whatever. I'll not be nervous about this one. All it is we've got to go and get 3 points like anything else. Listen, I've been bending everybody's ear about balloons, what choices I have, and all of this, and the full time's going to be brilliant and all that, The end of the day, the American kid who's coming over, John, he's he's got to trust me how I am at my job and all that, and I've got to get whatever I do, hook or whatever, I've got to go and get results from.
Sure. Finally, then, this is something I read during the week, and I just wondered if it accords with your view. Someone says, I remain of the view that there is very little difference in the individual talent of players at our level. That's this league.
Yeah.
Any player who shows the ability to alter the course of games is pretty quickly picked up by clubs at the lower end of the EFL. The difference between success and failure in this league is about work rate, desire, ambition, fitness and organisation.
If we never had that, we'd be bottom of the league without any points. Because we look player for player, money for money, manager for manager, we're probably bottom of the pile if we're going to be realistic about it, even though I've got some decent players. But the desire, the work, the attitude of them, not me or Ian, of them, that's where we are. I'll tell you that. Managers guide, coaches guide, players do it for you. And I think the ability, what we lack in the team, is made up by motivation, by determination, by dedication. I think they're doing unbelievable well.
Yeah, but the point, this seems to me to almost sum up what you were saying 2 minutes ago, that there aren't any outstanding players because
that.
any good ones get snapped up.
I had Jamal Lewin when I was at Hampton, and he went on to be a £3 million player.
Exactly.
You can get on one hand, you can't get them on two hands. So if you look, and we actually saw all the managers and all the players in our league, even there's some bloody good ones, they're good, but they're not outstanding. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm good, all my promotions, but I'm not outstanding. My players are good, but I've just never seen one. If I seen outstanding bloke, I'll say, I tell you what, he's outstanding him. I'm not saying the crap, I'm not saying we're good. Let's get what you're saying. We are good. Outstanding? No. So you've always got a chance of people who aren't outstanding. You know, that's the, if they're not bad or good, you've got a great chance of competing against them. I really do, and that's how we had this motto here ever since I've been at the club and my previous clubs as well. I've gone, okay, we're playing whatever. Name me 3 outstanding players I've got. You can't name one because they're not outstanding. They're good. That's all it are, and it gives us who up to compete against them.
Sure,
you know what I mean?
And in the interest of full disclosure, that phrase, couple of sentences I read out were written by an Aldershot supporter following Saturday's game.
It's fair enough, and probably I thought it wasn't the best of games, but we were better on the day. That's all it is. But you know, you sort it out down there. You sort it out as like I say, it's a decent club, and then you sort it out. And you know, obviously being local rivals, we want to finish high on them, and of course you do for bragging rights. But that's all. It's me and him get on our right very well. I made what he done at Braintree. I did. I thought he'd done a good job there. And he's probably going, you know, because I lost to overnight again, but I've been there before, and if I lost Saturday, I'll get a bit of it. You get it, you've got to brush it off. The only advice you can give is not to read forums, not to read Twitters, and that's the only advice you can give. That's all I do. On the last bit there, I'd like to wish the youth team all the best on Monday night. They're playing at Leighton Orient. I've been to see them this morning, getting well drilled over wherever you are. So I wish them all the well. There's some good young kids coming through. You know, Jadens of the world, Hamlins of the world have pushed through and all that, you know, and stuff. And they're coming, you know, hopefully, you know, they can. You know, I think we'll beat them on Monday, me personally, but they seem up for it and they seem ready for it, and Max is there. Well, Max is there helping Ryan and Scott and all that, you know, and he's into it and all that, you know. So from everybody from the first team, I'd like to wish them all the best.
Brilliant, and all the very best wishes from myself as well. Thanks for your time this afternoon.
This afternoon, David, you're right.
Afternoon, and next week, as we say, it'll be a bit later because we're going to film it at 4.
Yeah.
It won't go out live this time. That's a long-term possibility. But we'll see how it goes with an audience next week.
Magic. See you then.
Thanks a lot.
Sure. Here's to my lovely daughter, Jessie Lily Dowse. Happy birthday, big girl. Hope you're cool. Okay, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jessie. Happy birthday to you.